Anyone out there who can hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
When the attendees will join, they can also hear you. So I will mute my microphone.
Okay. So a very good morning from WATEC headquarters in Zurich, Switzerland. It is our pleasure to welcome you today to our presentation at the Inter Control Room Summit. Also, we would like to say a big thank you to our partner Inter for providing us with this opportunity to talk about the topic which is today out of control: decrease the cost of failure in control rooms. So I don't want to go too much into detail about the agenda for the today's presentation, which will take us about 30 to 35 minutes. We're going to start with a short introduction about ourselves, which will be followed by an overview about the main challenges in control rooms as we at WATEC see them today. Before then, we will go a bit more into details about the challenges itself and how we see potential solutions for that. And afterwards, we're gonna provide you with a summary about our opinion, about our vision of managing high performance control rooms in mission critical environments today and in the future. And certainly there will be also then some time for questions and answers. Yeah, so the WATEC team here today, the WATEC channel sales team, I would like to start with myself. My name is Manuel Witzke. I'm responsible for the sales and business development, working for WATEC for now 5 years. I have a security background, so therefore I feel quite, let's say, quite well in terms of command and control rooms. Together with me is my colleague Michael.
Well, thank you, Manuel. My name is Michael Heinen. I've been working for WATEC now for roughly 2 years. I'm responsible for all the pre-sales and consulting topics within the channel organization for the EMEA region.
Thank you so much, Michael. Yeah, Michael, as being our, let's say, senior pre-sales and consulting manager for the international channel business of WATEC, Michael, can you please tell us a little bit about what are the main, let's say, sources of failures in a control room, or what do you see from your experience? What are the main challenges in control rooms, especially in mission critical environments?
Thank you, Manuel, for this question, which is a very interesting one. When we look back in history for, let's say, 1 or 2 decades, and we have a look at the control rooms back at that time, we noticed that the control rooms were much, much easier and simpler. So we had only a very limited number of sources, of systems that had to be controlled by an operator. They didn't have too many stakeholders to work with or also to collaborate with in general. So everything was quite, let's say, was quite easy, cleaned up. And from that point of view, also good visible for an operator. Over time, the whole environment changed. So a lot of new systems, a lot of new PCs, and a lot of new environments were actually added to the workplace of the operator in this control room. So instead of just having like their main applications in order to operate their environments, there were a lot of new systems that were added to this workplace. So we are talking about access control. We are talking about facility management solutions. We are talking about surveillance solutions. We are talking about office environments, etc., etc. And also on the stakeholder side, a lot changed. So now we have a lot more stakeholders. We have also complete other expectations from these stakeholders, and we have a lot of more possibilities to interact with these stakeholders. And the whole digitalization is even driving this situation more and more. So this leads to a situation where the operator has, on the one hand, a lot of disparate systems on his desk. These systems are normally organized in silos. for different reasons, actually. So this could be because it's historically grown that way, but it could also be because we have security or performance issues. So we want to keep the systems separate. Another topic would be compatibility, of course. So this actually leads to the fact that the operator doesn't have the overview that he needs anymore, which increases pressure to the operator. And as he does not have the environment that he needs to be very efficient and effective, this environment doesn't allow him to do the best job that he actually could do, and that he would also basically be expected to do.
Well, Michael, this is very, very interesting what you said about the main challenges in the control room. And I think all of the participants, we have made the same experience, or yeah, let's say the same experience from the daily work, being somehow involved in control room projects, that indeed, because of the higher number of systems which needs to be controlled, there is much more pressure on the, let's say, on the performing guys in the control room, and also coming more pressure from the stakeholders. Michael, from your experience, when we are doing all these projects, and let's say also on an international base, what have our customers planned so far? So what have we seen in the past, which was good in the past, but which will probably not work today or in the future?
Well, when we go back some time, the control rooms, as I already mentioned, were quite cleaned up. So we had quite a low amount of systems running on PCs. They were installed under the desk. We had dedicated specific monitors on the desk and a few keyboards and mice, and everything was quite easy because the operator had an overview, because it didn't have too many systems and too many applications. So back then, I think the world was still in order. But then the number of systems, as I said, started growing, which actually resulted in more PCs under the desk, in more monitors on the desk, more keyboard mice on the desk. So this resulted actually in quite messy workplaces. And as you all know, when you have a messy workplace, it's much harder to get along, to find the right information, to find the right equipment. And this is also, of course, the case in a control room. I mean, the pictures you see here, this is not it's not fake pictures. It's even not pictures from years ago. So they are quite current. So this is actually what we still see in current control rooms. We even see control rooms where the operators put stickers on their keyboards and mice, just to make sure that they have the right mouse at the right moment, or the right keyboard at the right moment, which corresponds to the needed system. And another thing that we see is that you can also see it in one of this pic, or even on both pictures, is a lot of operators, they even go back to paper because it's easier for them to handle their situation with paper and pencil than accessing the information on their computers, because yeah, they just don't find the right information in the time that they would need to. And I think you all agree that this is not the situation we want to have in a mission critical control room, right?
Absolutely, Michael. I fully agree with you, and I guess all the participants would do the same, especially as we have heard from you before, that the pressure on operators is increasing, also coming from the stakeholders, especially in mission critical control rooms, as we all know, when we are talking about Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Interior, airports, air traffic control, oil and gas. So these are all mission critical environments which require a high performance, a high performing, let's say, control room environment. So Michael, what do you think? I mean, from your experience, from the experience of WATEC, what can happen when a control room has a fault? So can you please give us some examples of situations, its let's say implications, and how we see potential solutions for that?
I would like to jump into three different risk scenarios. So the first one would be the operator itself. I think it's very important that we have satisfied employees, satisfied operators. today's operators, they have quite high expectation when it comes to the workplace environment. This is also driven, not only, but also driven by the private sector. So they are used that they have high quality equipment. They are used that they have high performance equipment, that they have modern equipment, and that they have equipment that is responding also very, very intuitively. So this is also their expectation, what they have when they come to work. When they don't get this environment, there is a higher risk that these guys, and most of them are also very well educated, will leave the company again and try to find another place to work somewhere else. On the other hand, we also know that I mean, there have been lots of studies about that the lower the satisfaction of an employee, the more he will be absent due to health problems. So he tends then not to come to work because he doesn't feel well when he's working. So what do you need actually in order to overcome these issues? Well, what you need is a modern, easy to use and cleaned up workplace with one single intuitive user interface. This is, from our point of view, very, very important. It is also important that the operator can personalize his environment depending on his or her needs, but also depending on the situation that actually is going on right now. You need an environment that works reliably. So you really want this thing to work when you need it, especially when it comes to emergency situations. And I think the most important thing from an operator's perspective really is what we call the real-time performance. I think there is nothing more annoying than when the reaction or the action of your system, for example, the mouse, is not actually following what you're doing with it. So, I mean, you all know the situation when you are using your private equipment. It's very annoying when you touch something and you feel the difference between the touch and the reaction. So this actually means that the latency topic is very, very key. Because we are normally talking about different systems, and when we talk control room, we put them away out of the control room, remote them. So this is very, very, very important. I will come back to this issue later on when we are talking about the business continuity. Then the second topic I would like to jump into is the operational errors. I mean, it's probably quite clear that when you have lots of keyboards, lots of mice, lots of monitors on your desk, so when this desk is quite messy, when you even have paper that you work with, the risk of, let's say, losing time when you interact with the system, when you have to access information, when you have to forward alarms, etc., the delay will increase. Also, the error sources are much higher. So therefore, what will happen is the quality of the service that you are providing as a control room operator will go down, obviously. And this, of course, has certain effects. So all your stakeholders will lose the trust. Also, it can be go that far that even lives are threatened, that you have environmental issues. So this will obviously lead also to some impact on your business itself. So this can be reduced turnover, and as I said, even to death. The same implications, by the way, also have or occur when you have system outages. So in the end, if you cannot fulfill your tasks, if you cannot fulfill your mission, this will result always in the same implications. So what do you need to do that? So you need a solution, again, easy to use, that is perfectly designed to meet all of your requirements and also the current situations. So you need a flexible environment to do so. You need an environment that allows the operator to easily access all the sources that he needs that doesn't lead into any confusion, and helps the operator to take the right decision at the right time, and even draws the attention of the operator to the right system, to the right source, to the right area of his workplace at the right time. And also very important in control rooms, in emergency situations, you have to be able to share content. So you have to be able to share whatever you have on your screen with any other operator, with your team leader, put it on the video wall, etc. And this not within the control room, but also across different rooms and different sites. As I said, the system outages, the implication of systems outages are basically very comparable to the one with the operational errors. They might come faster, so they will be more obvious, but from a basic point of view, they are actually the same. But the solution approach is a little bit different. So the keyword here is redundancy. And when we talk redundancy, we're not just talking about deploying redundant systems or redundant KVM solutions. We are talking about having the redundancy also on a control room level, or within a control room, to have multiple desks, have multiple sources that do basically the same. We can spread the people across multiple control rooms and spread the sources, the system across multiple system rooms. And we connect everything together with our solution, with the UKVM solution, to be as flexible as being able to access all the information the operator needs from any workplace, from any control room, from any site. And this all happened seamlessly. So we have, or we need some kind of a user and role management that actually allows a user to log in the system, and independently where the user is, he can actually access all the information that he needs and that he's allowed to. So basically, this would be the workplace that you're looking for. So it's a cleaned up workplace that shows all the information you need, that allows you to switch between the different sources and systems, that allows you to share the content, that is also personalizable. So the user, the operator, him or herself can choose how he or her would like to work, but the system also helps you to draw the attention to the right place. So, well, basically, as you can see, there's a lot to think about. And I think the best thing would be that you have a really experienced partner on your side that helps you. And Manuel, I think we know a good partner for that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Michael, for this explanation. What I have taken with me is that there are different risks which needs to be managed. So it's not only about the risk of losing a source, but it's also, we need to take into consideration something like company rating. So here I'm talking about the stakeholders, but I'm also thinking about the satisfaction of the operators. So I think for all of you joining this session today, so we need to have something like a 360-degree view when we are, let's say, measuring the risks which can, which will have an impact on the control room design, control room and control room operations. Yeah, Michael, thank you so much for handing over to me. Yeah, absolutely. We think that we as Waytech, we could be together with our local partner Inter, a good solution provider or a good partner for you when it comes to the equipment of mission critical command and control rooms. Why? Because Waytech is a turnkey solution provider for the most known trading floors and mission critical control room environments in the world. Waytech has deployed over the last years a lot of 911 centers, air traffic control. Just to share with you, Waytech will control together with the US company Raytheon the US airspace as of 2022 under the umbrella of the so-called MARS program. And here we are talking about a couple of thousands operator positions. And I think you would, let's say, also agree with me that there is no more mission critical than controlling the airspace of one of the most in one of the most, let's say, busiest regions in the world. But also WATEC has done, for example, projects with the Air Force, the Swiss Air Force. So we are working together with the military, but also with different Ministry of Defense organizations in the world, Ministry of Interior, a couple of oil and gas facilities, power grids, not to forget traffic management. Here, I would just to mention, because we are today in the Netherlands, so when you go to Amsterdam, WATEC is managing the traffic of Amsterdam together with company GVB. WATEC has 40 years of market experience in the largest trading floors and mission-critical command and control rooms. And it all began in 1984. Why Way? Because the company Way was invented by a gentleman called Hubert Way. And at that time, Hubert has developed the first video switch worldwide. And that was basically the date of birth for our company as it is today. WATEC, in comparison to some other companies, we have, let's say, a mission. So that means we think local and act global, and this also reflects in the management structure of WATEC. Still until today, WATEC is privately held and owner managed. What does it mean for you as a partner, as an end customer? WATEC can provide you with a very high flexibility, speed when it comes to decision making. For example, when we need to have, let's say, a new product, or when we need to adapt a product and so on. And of course, trust, as our two owners, Mario Rockle and Armin Klingler, are in this position for the last 25 years. So there is a lot of sustainability in our company. As of today, we have installed more than 40,000 workplaces around the world for more than 500 major customers in 45 countries. And we can give you a promise today, and this is the Swiss quality promise, because all the products and solutions are coming from Switzerland. They are all developed and produced at our headquarters in Unterengstingen, which is a small village near to Zurich. This is, let's say, from a company perspective, why we think that we could be a good solution provider or a partner for you. From a solution point of view, yeah, as I have said before, we are coming from the financial industry. We are basically not coming from the command and control industry. Just to let you know here that in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and still until today, WATEC is the world #1 when it comes to the equipment of the biggest and most mission-critical trading floors around the world. And that helps us also a lot in the command and control room business, because based on that, as we all know in the financial industry, every millisecond counts. A millisecond decides about whether a trader does a deal or not. And therefore, WATEC has probably the fastest switching solution worldwide, which provides you with highest efficiency, security, and flexibility. This is our DNA at WATEC. It's all about speed. We are a turnkey solution provider. What does that mean? You can also call it like a one-stop shop, let's say, in a sense. That means that beside our KVM technology, so the core technology of WATEC, we can also provide you with so-called video wall integration, but we can also integrate seamlessly, for example, facility management application, building management application, various alarming systems, and we can all bring them to the workplace of the operator. That means we have, when we talk about workplace, as Michael has said, we have a very intuitive user interface, which is our own user interface. So we are not working with third-party user interfaces in this regards, which provides you with the highest performance and let's say effectiveness for the operator in mission-critical control rooms. With WATEC, you can access all sources like PC, cameras, control systems, and so on from any desk and location at any time and in real time. Because of the redundant solution concepts and solution designs which we have in place, Backup sites are, let's say, in operation immediately, which means that with a WATEC solution, you have no downtimes during operations, independently what will happen, or in other words, if one side is going down, the other side, which can be next door in the same city, or let's say in a different city, will be, let's say, operational immediately. Michael, so this is a little bit about WATEC, where we are coming from, what we are standing for, what kind of solution we would like to bring to the market. You have said in your speech before that there are some main challenges in control rooms which we need to consider, which we need to manage. Can you give us a little bit more, let's say, a more detailed insights into the topics of real-time performance, user interface, security, and also future-proof technology? Because I could well imagine if someone is investing today in a control room, it must be assured that this technology is also good enough in 5 to 10 years from now.
Absolutely, Manuel, absolutely. So the first thing I would like to jump on is, again, this real-time performance. We are really convinced that this real-time performance is extremely important, as we are, on the one hand, putting the systems away, as I already said, from the desk to the system room. But this becomes even more important when we are remoting the PCs even further away from the operator. And this gives us a lot of flexibility then. One point that you already mentioned before is this, it lays the basic for our business continuity possibilities. So based on our technology that we are using, and based on the algorithm we're using that really keeps this delay, this latency very, very, very low, we can actually spread the systems basically independently and independent from the distance to any place. And this allows us to build up, as I will show you afterwards, also our, let's say, additional redundancy options, because you will not feel a difference whether you're having the PC under your desk or whether it is away in a even far away control room. When we talk far away, we talk about hundreds of kilometers, but potentially. Just to mention it, in order to have this possibility to put all the equipment independently far away from the operator, we need also some mechanisms that actually allow the operator to identify himself, to authenticate himself towards the system, and that makes the system recognize the particular operator, providing him the desired personalized environment. So in the end, with this real-time performance approach and with what we call the user and role management that we have implemented, this allows the operator to basically sit anywhere in the control room, but also anywhere across different control rooms. So this really also drives the flexibility and the overall availability of your infrastructure. Then the next thing that seems quite important to us is the user interface. So we've been talking about efficiency and effectiveness, right? So you want to allow your operator to have an as easy access to all the sources as possible. So you have to create a work zone for the operator in which you can move a source very fast and easily to your work zone, so to the area where you as an operator have decided to work on. So to do so, what you need is an easy and intuitive user interface. So accessing all sources, of course, with one fingertip is very important. And it has also to be so easy that you basically do not need any training to actually use it. And this is something that I think I can say that we're very proud of, that we have such a user interface. And this, of course, enables the operator to switch fast and easily, on the one hand, the content, but on the other hand, also with one fingertip to share content. As I mentioned before, it is very important, it becomes even more important in the future, to share the information with the different stakeholders. So this is also very important that you include this this topic in your concept. Another thing that seems very important is the possibility to change your environment with different layouts. These layouts can be changed user-driven, so as I said, the personalization of the environment, but also they need to be event-driven. So a certain situation might require another layout because other information or systems might be needed. And the change of these layouts should also be supported by or driven by the solution. And then last but not least, you also want to control any third-party system, and this possibly with one single interface as well. So with the same user interface that you are actually also using for your KVM environment to operate the sources. So what you need, and then there we come back to what Manuel said with the turnkey solution, you need a solution that allows you to integrate also third-party systems like facility management environment, like building management, like alarming system, like video management systems into your environment, and you can operate all these different systems, applications with one user interface, and everything is integrated seamlessly in your workplace environment. Then, Manuel, you've been talking about future-proof solutions and also trusted solutions, of course. I mean, we are talking about mission-critical control rooms. So their trust is definitely key. You have to be able to trust your partner on different levels. So you have to be able to trust him, of course, on a security level, on a reliability level, but you also need the certainty that the investment is well protected that you do, because as you said, you want to be able to operate this solution for the next 5, 10, 15, or even more years. So this future-proofness is very important, we think, because as I said, we are talking a long term and not just short term. So what you need is you have to deploy a solution that ensures you that you can integrate legacy systems and current systems, of course. That's what you already have now, but you also have to be able to integrate the systems of the future, which you might not know yet. So this means that you need to build your solution on standards and on hardware. So you have to be as independent when you are integrating from software as possible, because all of you know, when you do software, there's always this topic of interoperability. When you are operating a software, you have to make sure that all the other softwares are also adapted correspondingly. And this might drive the cost on the one hand, but also the risk of malfunction on the other hand. What you also want, of course, is high quality. And what is driving the quality, besides, of course, choosing the right components, etc.? Well, what is important is to have a provider, a partner that is actually covering the whole product and solution lifecycle. So from the development to the production, but also the whole maintenance and support services. And again, the partner is very important. So if you invest today, you want this partner to be also there for you in 10, 15 years. So the stability of the partner, again, is key. And when we talk about technology, again, when we see how fast technology is moving, how fast these developments are actually occurring and even accelerating, when you today invest in a technology, you want to be sure that you have the possibility also to add other systems in the future. So therefore, you have to be future ready, even now. And one topic that we are very often facing now is this 4K topic. So you have to be able to already today deploy 4K, just to be sure that you will also be ready tomorrow for all the new sources and systems that will come. The last topic I would like to jump into is the security topic. I mean, obviously, this is a very, very central topic in the control room environment, in particular, of course, in general as well. And our security approach is basically built up on 3 pillars. And when we talk about these 3 pillars, this are additional pillars to, let's say, state-of-the-art normal security concept as encryption. So on top of that, we have three approaches. So the first approach really is the housing of the systems in the system in a system room. So you put away the sources from the desk, and therefore no one is actually, or a very restricted audience is actually able to physically access the PC. I mean, as you all know, accessing the PC is one of the greatest threats that you actually could have in such an environment. The other thing is the risk of getting infected by malware and viruses. And one of the main portals to do or to get such viruses is the USB port. So again, there, when you put the physical hardware away, you can actually reduce to zero the risk that someone actually plugs in a USB stick and that the systems will get affected. So you really centralize all your PCs. This has other effects as well that are positive for the security and also for the reliability, because in terms of maintenance, it becomes much more easy to do that. So you would actually leave all your PCs at one place, and your support team can access these PCs independently from the control room. So the guys in the control room are not touched when you have to do maintenance on the physical hardware. Then the second element, the second pillar that I would like to strike is authentication. You need actually a KVM environment that manages the different access rights, the different access levels of your operators. And it could even be that a certain operator has different roles that would allow him to access different sources. So even that has to be covered by your solution. So in the end, what you need is access management, where you can actually give to each operator a username and a password, so that on the one hand, the system, the solution recognizes the users and can also attribute him the right access rights. So he only has access to the source that he is actually allowed to, and also different access levels. So as we heard, we want to share information, but not all users that actually can see the information are also allowed to actually work on this or change this information. And this is also something that needs to be done on a solution level. And then last but not least is the network independence. So when you look into today's control rooms, we see that all the different systems, or a lot of systems, are installed, deployed in silos. And there is a good reason for that. As I said at the beginning, there might be historical reasons, but there might, among others, also be security reasons. So you don't want your SCADA system to have an internet access, and you don't want any other system to actually risk the situation and bridge through some backdoors this physical separations. And therefore, again, really think this is key, that also the KVM solution is not interfering with this concept. So we have to exclude the risk that this bridging occurs over the KVM environment, and therefore also preventing potentially infected computers in lower security areas to infect the ones in the higher security environments. And the last element is not to touch the hardware and software from on the business side, let's call it that way. So do not install any software on it, because there you definitely have the risk that you do this bridging. So these are really these three pillars that I would like to strike in terms of an additional high security in KVM environments now.
Well, thank you very much, Michael, for giving us some deeper insights into the, let's say, main risks that you see in mission-critical command and control rooms, and how we can solve them together with our partner Inter. Of course, then when we are talking now about this solution for high performance mission critical command and control rooms, or as I have mentioned before, also for trading floors, so the most well-known trading floors in the world, which are, let's say, dealing with millions or even billions of dollars every day, supported by a WATEC by a WATEC system. Coming from Switzerland, I could well imagine that you have a question mark. And the question mark is, oh my God, that must be a hell of expensive. But I can tell you that it's not the case. I mean, what we say is that, and this with a smile, of course, that not only your money is safe in Switzerland, because let's say most of them is then again somehow managed with a WATEC system, but also your mission critical infrastructure. So we think that you can get such kind of a solution at a reasonable price. And the reasons are the following. You have low investment costs because with WATEC you can use standard IP network. You can reduce your IT maintenance cost by having a centralized management of your IT assets. You have also, like, let's say, an optimized deployment of operators, because with the solution of WATEC provided together with our partner Inter, you have, let's say, a very, very easy operation possibility. You have a decentralized solution design, which allows you to connect any source from any time and in real time. And I think this is also something, Michael, you have spoken about in terms of risk. You have said that the, let's say, the satisfaction of the, let's say, of the control room operators is of course also in the center of our way of thinking, what we think is important when it comes to overall solution designs. And this is possible with WATEC, because with WATEC you will have healthier working conditions because of this remote approach that you have in place. You have less heat and less noise emission at the operator desk, respectively, in the control room, which then refers to less stress for the operators, and less stress means that the operators can focus much better on their daily, let's say, operations, especially when it comes to emergency situation. And last but not least, and we think that this is also a very important topic, is you have like real estate savings by reducing the footprint of workplaces in the system room, because with the WATEC solution, we have heard about this one keyboard approach, this cockpit approach, we call it. You have the opportunity to have potentially smaller desks. You will need less racks, which then, let's say, results in that you need most probably smaller control rooms and smaller system rooms, which will give you a saving when it comes to real estate spendings. So with WATEC and Inter, you get a perfect and tailor-made solution at less, on an average, at less than 5% of your operational cost of your mission critical environment. Yeah, maybe to round up the picture, Michael, I would like to hand over to you to close the presentation today. Maybe you can just again sum up why customers should go with an Inter WATEC solution for their upcoming projects.
Very happy to do so, Manuel. Well, as you have noticed, we've not been talking about our solutions or products, but we as WATEC are convinced that we have the product and solutions in place to empower the operators to do an even better job. We know what is important for an operator based on our long-time experience and our daily exchange with operators and their managers around the world. So therefore, I think I can say we will be very happy to, together with our partner Inter in the Netherlands, to enter the discussion with you and to support you to get the best control room that you can think of. And this, as Manuel said, is a reasonable price. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your attention. So if there are any questions.
Yes, I already saw a question. There has been one question raised about virtualization. So what WATEC's view on virtualization is. So I think we can say that we definitely see a trend towards virtualization. This has been the case already for, I don't know, 10 to 12 years, where this topic has been popping up again and again. I think we have to separate two use cases, and based on what we see in the market. So we have some companies that we've seen that, especially in the banking environment, that the banks are tending to replace their KVM, well, their different separate systems that are connected together with KVM solutions with virtualized environments. From an operational point of view, obviously this has different advantages. If I'm an IT manager, it does actually help me to operate the environment. But what we see is, and we have more than one such examples in the banking environment, or in the banking environment, that from an operator's perspective, the solution is not satisfying. So we are talking, for example, about this latency topic again. So a lot of our customers actually came back. So they had a WATEC system, they went into the direction of virtualization, and as they were not happy, they're now turning back on let's say, their conventional approach, having the separated systems, running on separated high-performance hardware, and then combining everything with our solution. The other case that we see is that part of the systems are virtualized. So they are not virtualized in all the environments, but just part of it. So they have like a hybrid approach. So let's say the special solutions like the SCADA systems, etc., they are still running on dedicated machines, high performance, etc., and more the commodity services like an internet access or the office applications are running in virtualized environments. And I mean, already as of today, we can integrate with such solutions. So we can integrate virtual environments. The question is, do you actually want to do that from a security perspective? So having a software installing you that actually would, or getting direct access over the network to your virtual media stream? Or would you rather go into a direction where you say, okay, we will still have from our point of view, more secure approach where you have a thin client, and there again with the hardware approach that would allow you to connect that physical to that hardware as if it would be a powerful standalone a PC. So to summarize this up, yes, we see the development to more virtualized environments. We see also the risk and disadvantages that the virtualization has. A lot of our customers are turning back, but if there is a customer who wants to virtualize, we can also, of course, integrate virtualized sources into our solution.
Well, thank you, Michael, for answering this question. I hope it was to your satisfaction. Okay, we see. Thank you again for bringing this important topic up. Maybe to also to mention that certainly you are all invited to either visit one of your, let's say, one of our showrooms worldwide, or of course, please visit the Inter Experience Center at their headquarters in Dolben. There you will also find a WATEC system in operation. Well, if there are no questions left, we would like to say thank you for your time. It was really a pleasure for Michael and myself talking about our vision.
It was, yes.
And we are looking forward and hope to see you in person again soon. If there are any, let's say, concrete questions, or if you are thinking about upcoming projects, please contact our partner Inter. And stay healthy, and we wish you now a very nice and sunny weekend from Zurich, Switzerland. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. much.